So something big is going on with our society, with our people, with our young people, particularly our young men. Something is happening, and I think we kind of know what's happening, but it's just, I don't know. It's this big elephant in the room, and it's just swept under the rug, right? Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's allowed to talk about this, and it's kind of scary, guys. It's kind of sketchy. It's kind of just makes you worried. Makes you worried about the future of what is coming next if this is already happening now. What happens in 3 to 5 years? What's going to happen? Makes you a little worried. All right. So this article is out of the Telegraph, the London Telegraph, and all their sources are completely verified. I'm just going to essentially just quote what they're saying, and you guys can let me know what you think is happening, right? Because we know how this goes, all right? We know how it is. But I'm just going to quote what they say. These are the experts. They're quoting, government bodies, government sources on what's happening. And it's scary, guys. It's concerning. So let's dive into this. I'm not going to use certain words, obviously, just for the sake of the video to make it a little bit easier on everything. All right. So here's the headline from the Telegraph. Right. All the sources are verified. I read this article a few times. So it says rising non-C excess deaths reveal the disastrous legacy of the pandemic. It says experts believe higher deaths from heart complications and diabetes mean the indirect effects of the pandemic will be greater than C itself. Right? That's the headline, and that's the tagline for this article coming out of the Telegraph. Okay. So it says when Britain first locked down on March 23rd, 2020, the average daily death rate from C was around 213, triggering an understandable alarm and ushering in of strict restrictions. Now, a similar number of unexpected deaths are occurring each day, the majority of which are not primarily caused by C. So when all this started, it was a big deal, right? But now it's saying we are still having a similar amount of excess deaths than we did when this all started, all right? Very strange, very scary that this is just lingering in the background. Where is the counter on the screen, on the news? Where's the counter for all these people, all these excess deaths that they are sweeping on the rug? Where's their counter for it? I'm just wondering, are we going to count every single one? Because these people matter too, and this is very concerning. We should figure out what is happening, all right? We should launch an investigation to see what's at the bottom of this and have public hearings, public process, call everyone in. Let's do it. Let's have a giant investigation to see what's going on. Let's get the whole government behind it. Let's get billions of dollars behind it. Let's do it. Let's have a massive response for this. I'm game. Let's do it. Let's figure out what's happening. All right. So that's just the precursor of everything. So it says, data from the Office of National Statistics show that in the past 6 months, there have been more excess deaths from causes other than C than deaths due to C for the entire year. All right? This is getting very strange and dystopian. We all know what's happening, but it's just like to see the numbers in front of you is frightening. All right, it says, figures revealed there were 18,394 deaths due to C recorded this year in England and Wales. But since May, there have been 23,195 excess deaths where the primary cause was another condition. All right, so 18,394 due to C this year, 23,195 excess deaths due to other conditions. And at the top of this article, they said higher death rates from heart complications and diabetes. are two of the top leading things that they're citing in this article. Okay? It also goes on to say that it is likely that collateral damage from the pandemic coupled with long-term NHS problems have collided into a perfect and deadly storm. So they're also saying that this could be healthcare issues causing this. People are experiencing more health problems and the healthcare system's overwhelmed. All right. I saw a different article, not this one, that was blaming the excess deaths on austerity, right? I was kind of confused when I read this. I was like, wow, what are they even talking about? What do they even mean, austerity? Right? I was confused at first. Just like, how would this cause excess deaths? And they were saying, well, there's been all these cuts to government programs and all this money cuts, and it's causing poor healthcare and stuff like that. That's what they were saying. That was their excuse for why excess deaths are up to these crazy amounts. All right. So just to hit some numbers, it says how excess non-C deaths are outstripping C deaths. All right. This is a graph that they also put in the article. I'll break down some of the numbers for you. So in May, all right, excess non-C deaths were around 1,700 and C deaths were only around 400. Okay. So excess was 1,700 and C's were only 400. Okay. In June, excess was around 1,600. That is not C related. All right. And then C deaths were, a couple hundred something. I can't see the numbers exactly, but it was around a couple hundred. So what's going on in October right now? Currently, excess deaths, non-excess C deaths are approximately around 1,200, 1,300. Okay, and C deaths are around 300 to 400. So, and this chart, the whole way down the past 6 months, excess deaths non-related to C have been higher, way higher, like 500,000 people higher every single month than C deaths. Very strange, very peculiar. What is going on in this crazy, kooky, nutty world? All right. It also says elective admissions were still down in 2021 with 10,996 fewer operations. But alarmingly, emergency admissions for heart problems had increased by 25,878. This is what the Telegraph is saying. They are telling us what's happening, right? This is one of the biggest newspapers in the UK, and they are kind of telling us it's kind of a disclosure of what's happening, right? They kind of have to tell you what's coming, and it's up to you to decide what you want to do with your life, with your body, with your decisions. And they're telling us now. They're definitely telling us. It's a little late to be telling us, but they are telling us, okay? So let me know what you think about this, guys. These numbers are kind of frightening. I'm not going to lie. What's it going to look like in 2, 3, 5 years? Are these numbers going to get worse? Hopefully they stop. Hopefully this is the peak of all this. But I don't know. I'm really not sure. So let me know what you think, guys. Thank you for watching. You guys have a big old blessed day.